Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the sit-in. Before we start working on the song, I kind of want to sidetrack a little bit, and I hope you find this interesting. On the screen here, the harp. This is by Sound Iron. I use harp a lot. I love harp. Out of interest, you see these here? These are pedals on a concert harp, and there's 7 pedals. So right now they're off. So this instrument, virtual instrument, works as like a piano plug-in, right? So every note. Isn't that a lovely sound? But if I want to use it like a real harp, if you put the pedals on, you see it's a C major, and all the pedals are in the center, which they are on a harp. A pedal harp has 3 positions: the center, pedal up, center, pedal down. Pedal down makes the note sharp, pedal up makes the note flat. So as you'll notice now the pedals are on, you won't get any black notes playing. Because there aren't black notes on a harp. There's no keys on a harp, they're strings. So now, if I was to do a glissando, I would get the C major. Right? Say you want a C7. That means that in that scale, the B here would have to be flat. Now, you don't play B flat on the keyboard. You have to think now it's a harp. Now you'll get the B flat instead of the B. I'll show you. Here's the B. And if I'm playing the B string on a harp and I put the pedal on the B pedal up, then it's going to be flat. Isn't that cool? Because you're not playing the B flat on the keyboard, you're playing it like you're playing a harp. So I think like a harpist, I'm playing this way, so it'd be. The reason I'm getting G minor is because the B is flat. Isn't that neat? If I take the pedals off, so now it's back to like a regular piano again. So I'd have to play the B flat. If I didn't, I'd get this. Which is okay, I guess. Just thought you might be a little interested in that. Okay, we're going to come right back, and we're going to start work on part 4 of the song. I've done the stuff before, most of it anyway. And I'll show you what I do and how I do it. Be right back. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to play what I've done so far from the beginning. Okay, let me shrink this down so you can see everything. Okay, just going to move up to my piano because we're going to be using that. Okay, so here's what we have so far. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. I love harp runs. I really love harp runs. They're just delicious. Okay, we'll be right back, and we're going to start with the piano block. Stay tuned. Okay, here we are. So we've got our piano ready to go. I'm going to move this down here to where it says part 4. And we're going to just be real boring now and just play the piano. Just so I have something to follow. Make sure my click is on. Remember, that's where we left off. And you're lovely. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to block the piano part. Boring, but has to be done. Here we go. What you just saw there was a thing you use the shift and the R on the keyboard on Mac. I don't know what it is on PC because I ain't got one. Called retrospective record. So if I like what I played, I can just grab it. Now I've got it. So I've got the MIDI here of that part. If I double click it, you'll see the piano roll where you can go in and edit. I don't. If I play it wrong or don't like it, I play it again, like you would in a live rehearsal. You can also see the score, which is kind of cool. I think that's what Ollie does, Ollie Parker, when he's puts his trumpet parts up. I know he uses Logic. Great player. Check out his website and check out his channel. The kid can play, man. Okay, so let's get out of there. Let's listen back to that. This is the boring part. Not really boring, but okay, that's fine. So the reason we're stopping there is because the arrangement won't finish on Logic. It's going to segue into when I play the next part of the song live on the GENOS with no backtracks, which is going to be really cool. So I like that. So I'm just going to bounce this now to audio. Like I said in my previous video, that I bounce it to audio because all these plugins take a hell of a lot of CPU power. And I have a lot of RAM in my computer, but I like to keep things neat and tidy. So this here is just a guide track. And BIP, by the way, stands for bounce in place. So now we have the piano part. Just boosting the volume a little bit with the gain over here, because we're going to trash this as soon as I'm done with it. Three, 4, out. Okay. What I do is right click. See where it says lock SMPTE position? That's so I don't accidentally move it and it gets out of sync. Let me tell you, there have been days when I don't do that and I hit the wrong key or something and everything is out of sync. When you got a 60-piece orchestra trying to put that back in sync, not a good day. Trust me, not a good day. Okay, now you're probably asking what parts are you going to do next? Well, let me think. I think I'm going to put in the consort, the strings, the muted strings is my nice soft string background. Now, I use the mod wheel. Here they are here. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The mod wheel makes a lot of its expression. The So I think I'm going to try that next. I'm not going to talk now because I may have to do this a couple of times. But here we go. Let's listen back. I think that's okay. I think. See how they went down in volume and back up again? Because dynamics. Okay, you hear how that dee-dum-ba-dum is a little fast? So I'm just going to bump those strings so they play slightly later. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to take off this snap thing here. So we're going to bounce these to audio. And I'm going to bring this up here in just a slight fade in so you don't hear a bump. These will ring out, but I'm just going to, just a little bit. Then I'm going to marry that to, before that, you see here, I need them a little louder, so I just go to gain. I usually go to 1.2 to 1.4. Let's bring those to 1.4. Okay. So now I'm going to marry those two parts together. Get rid of the MIDI. Done with it. Don't need it. That's where it got bounced to. Don't need it. Keep the screen clean. Just add that, and let's go back. See how the violas and cellos went down, but the second violins and first came in over top. That's just a lot of practice. Okay. Now we're going to go to bar 56. We're going to make another marker. We're going to call that ending 1. Click on the marker, hold Control C. I can give it a color. Sorry, Option C. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so I'm done with the piano now. I just needed that just to get me started. So let's not erase it right away. Just mute it. And I think I'd like to take out this section using the Hans Zimmer strings. Here they are. This is actually 60 violins, like holy crap. On legato, again using the mod wheel for expression. Isn't that beautiful? Also, if you see here, my mic position's very important. So I have close mics, which are actually right on the instruments. And then the tree, which is usually either side of the conductor. The ambient mics are farther back. The outriggers are even farther back. And that squeak was my puppy dog playing with his toy. Okay, let's try and play a string running here. Always hold it a bit longer than you need to, because you can always trim it off. You have to play it over again to add it. Let's listen back. Always leave more. That's fine. I like that. Now we're going to just bounce this in place. Now I haven't used them in the song yet, so I'm going to keep what's below here. Dump the MIDI, don't need it. Do our fade thingy like we did before. Let's listen back. Oh yes. Let's lock SMPTE so they don't move. And let's listen back. Just adding icons and color to the track. Very nice. Okay, we'll be right back. Next, we're going to add the bass. Stay tuned. Okay, here we are. We're going to do the bass. This is Goliath. It's from the East-West Library. I was going to mention it earlier, but I forgot, so I'll do it now. You're probably wondering, why do I have two different keyboards? Okay, it's not to look cool or nothing. I mean, I got a mustard stain on my shirt. Oh, wow. This keyboard here is semi-weighted, like a piano, more like a piano. This one is like more of a synth touch, which is good for strings and woodwinds and sometimes bass and stuff. The bass sound here is really cool. So let's see if I can play this bass part. This plugin's really hard to play and play well. So let's move our marker again. That's where my lead in is here. Okay, so let's go back now. Okay, now let's see if we can get the bass in. Back. Good. I actually got it the first time. Okay, but I am going to do something here I want you to see. I am going to go to my piano roll here, and you see here, it says velocity 93. I'm going to make them all the same velocity, i.e. how hard I hit the key, because it'll make it easier in the mix, which we'll get to way down the road. To do that, you go command all the notes in that section. Functions, MIDI transform, fixed velocity, and the one I liked at 93. So let's make them all 93. Select and operate. Now they're all the same velocity. Let's listen back. Making sure they're in time. Very nice. Okay, same routine. Bounce in place. You see how these waveforms are bigger than that? Means they're louder. So I'm just going to bring those down a bit. But I want them a bit louder because we're going to be adding more instruments later on. Lock SIMT, and then I'm just going to bring that down. Logic automatically, I have it set to do a crossfade. Just do that. Now let's listen back. Get rid of this. Don't need it. And I got rid of the other piano altogether. Okay, I'm glad this happened. I don't like this crossfade. So I'm going to undo. And what I'm going to do is move this back a bit. And I'm actually going to do what we did before and actually glue those together so there's no crossfade. It sounded like the note was missing. Just cleaning up things. Once more. Very nice. Now let's go back and put the piano part in. Just a very simple accompaniment piano. Nothing spectacular. Let's listen back. Okay, that's fine. I'll just go quickly here. I don't want to bore you people to death. And we're just going to marry those two together. The volumes look okay. Make sure you lock the SIMT. Get rid of that. Don't need it. Like I said, I like to keep my screen clean. All right, finally, the harp. sure I haven't got the pedals on because I don't need them for this. Nope. Okay, harp time. That's fine. Same thing. Take this down. Put these together. Lot the simp key. Simp T. Dump the MIDI. Don't need that. Dump it. And one more time. Louder. And there we have it. Now we have to work on the ending. We'll be right back for that very quickly. Okay, we're back here, and here's where we left off. So now we have to put an ending on the song. At least on this part of the song. At this point in the performance, the orchestra will leave a space for me to do the rest of the song using styles and stuff just on the GENOS, no backtracks. Okay, I thought a lot about this. What to do for the ending. I'm just putting my metronome on. And I decided, after much thought, to use the flugelhorn and possibly some consort strings, and maybe a French horn second voice. So let's take this journey together and try this. Now, you'll hear the click, but I'll be playing what I call off click. Now, up here in the tempo, you can put it in with this same tempo. Two, three, four, and then draw in tempo changes. I'm not a big fan of that for certain things, this being one of them. So I'm going to be playing what I call off click. So the click's running, but I'm picturing in my mind right now of the orchestra and the conductor. And we're going to start with the flugelhorn, and as you can see, the plugin is up here, and I put a very long reverb on it because I want that to carry over, because while that's fading out, when it's being played back on the GENOS, I'll start the next part of the song. All right, let's give this a whirl and see what happens. Who knows? Okay, you're probably going, what the hell is he doing? Just listen. Okay, I like that. So let's do our bouncy, bouncy, bouncy thing. Now, what I'm going to do is a little different. Is I'm going to mute the audio part. I want to leave the MIDI here because you see here, I can see when I'm striking the notes because I'm playing off tempo. I'm not following the click. So I want to make it like a real live situation where the orchestra has to watch a conductor so everybody plays together. That's the idea anyway. Let's bring up our consorts and check them out. Okay, let's just check them out. Okay. Sorry, just adjusting my sustain pedal down here. Okay. Like I said, I'm leaving the MIDI up here because I want to see when I strike the notes. And I'm going to try and play with the flugelhorn so that they're both in time. It's pretty tricky, but let's try it. Here we go. Oh, let's listen back. Got it the first time. Well, you know. Okay, so now we're going to dump the MIDI on the flugelhorn and unmute the flugelhorn. Check the volume. Okay. Now we're going to bounce the strings to audio. And just a little bit of a fade in at the front, out the back. And we're going to bring the volume up to about 2.5 dB hotter on the strings. Dump the MIDI. Lock's empty, so when I drag it, it stays where it's supposed to. Now let's listen back. So at this point, I'll hit the style on the GENOS so it comes in with the new intro. Isn't that neat? Okay, we'll be right back, because what is a partial ending without a harp? Okay, let's bring up our harp. And let's listen while that's loading. Okay, we're not going to use the pedals on this. Let me practice it for a minute. Yes. Okay, let's give her a spin. Okay, I decided to end on the G. Now, remember before I told you about using the piano roll to edit? That last G up here is too loud. I'm just going to bring the velocity down. Now let's listen. Because that G was sticking out. Almost. It's a little too soft now. Let's bring it up to about 100. Once more. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. Our bouncy. Just going to move that there a little bit. Bring this up about 1.4 dB hotter. Same thing. Lock this empty. Drag it down. Little fade in the end. Little fade here. And once more. And then from here, the GENOS takes over on its own. Okay, very nice. I want to try one more thing just for fun. Add a French horn obligato line. I'm not sure. Let's try it. No, that is awful. So let's forget it. This is nice how it ends here. Less is more. Okay, so we're basically done this part of the arrangement on Logic. I'm not going to show you the mixing process because basically I'm mixing as I go, so there's not much to do. And there are a billion different videos on YouTube on how to mix in Logic, so I'm not going to bore you to tears with that. I'm going to take a day or so and figure out what I'm going to use on the GENOS. In the meantime, watch this video and stay tuned for how I set up the GENOS for this song, The Way You Look Tonight. We'll see you soon.